And joining us now on the Book Talk segment of the show, great to welcome a woman who has put together a really interesting book. It's called 399 Games, Puzzles, and Trivia Challenges specifically designed to keep your brain young. We're joined today by Nancy Linde. She's also the creator of NeverTooOldForGames.com, and she joined us by telephone. And Nancy, thanks for being with us. How are you today?
Oh, thanks, Doug. I'm doing just fine.
I had a chance to kind of go through the book. I didn't do all the puzzles and games, but I did quite a few of them, and it's a fun book, first of all, but there's also, I guess, a health aspect to it, right? I mean, it can actually strengthen or keep your brain young. Is that the premise?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, indeed. We like to say it's the most healthy, fun thing you can do. And yes, I mean, I'm a game creator, and I love games, and I love the social and intellectual aspects of games. But we also work very closely with a neuroscientist in putting this book together. He sort of helped us understand that games really, it can benefit your brain just like physical exercise benefits your body. And if you want to, for example, strengthen abdominal muscles, then, you'll do some curls or some sit-ups and you'll build those muscles. Same thing with the brain. If you want to sort of make your brain function better, then if you think in new and novel ways, then this whole cascade of biological events happen inside the brain, and it generates new cells. In the case of the brain, they're nerve cells, and these cells make the brain healthier, make better connections, among and between the brain parts, and really just help you think and function better.
It's neurogenesis, that's the term you use.
That's right, neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, yep.
Well, we always heard, I mean, if you don't use your muscles, obviously they atrophy, and if you don't use your brain, obviously the things that fire in there, the synapses and all that, they're not going to work as well, right? So, I mean, there is something to that.
Yes, use it or lose it.
That's right. Now, you kind of break up the book into different types of games and puzzles for different parts of the brain, right? Can you explain that a little bit, how that works?
Sure, yes. So our neuroscientist helped us sort of by identifying the 6 cognitive functions that tend to be affected in normal aging. And, any of us who are over 40 and 50 sort of get this. Long-term memory, trying to remember the name of your grade school teacher, that kind of thing.
Right.
Working memory, which is, where the heck did I put my keys and where did I park my car? And then, let's see, there's executive functioning, which is kind of a higher order, sort of organizing your life in order to, complete a task that you have to do. And, like if you're just running errands on the weekend, you need to, get your keys and your glasses and your phone, and you have to go in a certain order, and it makes it more efficient if you can do it and think about it efficiently. There's multitasking, doing more than one thing at a time, which 20-year-olds seem to do a lot easier than 60-year-olds. And just processing speed. I hear from a lot of folks who say, I just don't think as fast as I used to. And that's a processing speed issue. So we've labeled the games by those cognitive functions, which ones they best exercise.
Yeah, you talk about working the brain and all that, how it can keep you young, and you look in even just the world of show business. How many, great actors tend to live a long time, but they take care of themselves in other ways. But I think memorizing lines and that kind of thing, I guess that's part of that, right? One of the reasons.
Absolutely. I mean, there's no way that if you just do a few games every day that you're going to, be completely healthy. It's always part of a whole routine of
right.
Eat well and sleep right and, get your exercise and keep fit and, but adding games to that is, number one, fun, and number two, really does help the brain. So why not, I say.
How did you put together some of these games? I mean, 399, that's a lot of them. You created a lot of them, I imagine, yourself. But how do you go about doing that?
I did, well, people ask me that. It's just something I've done all of my life. I got serious about it when I started with the website, Never Too Old for Games, which is, for the activities professionals who work with seniors. And the book sort of came naturally from that. So for the last 3 or 4 years, I've been, creating at least a dozen games a week.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. But it's great fun for me. I can't even think of this as work. I just have a great time doing it.
Do you just kind of get an idea maybe from reading an article or seeing something on TV and then make a game out of it that way? Or where do you get your ideas from? Yep.
Yeah, what I have is I have formats that, I might repeat. So sometimes it's simple as a word definition game where there'll be, something unique about all of the answers. Like all of the answers will have an X in the word. And then I just give definitions of words that have an X. That's a very simple format. A little more complicated format involves things like my visual game, when I will put 3 pictures together that seem completely unrelated to each other, and you have to find the common theme among those pictures. So, I have formats that I kind of repeat the formats, but I've got a good 25 or 30 of them.
Do you find now, Nancy, more people are getting back to game playing? I remember when I was growing up as a kid, your family would do that occasionally, play a board game or a word game or whatever. And I guess people kind of got away from it with TV and video games and all that. Do you think people are coming back to it now?
Well, I don't really know any statistics on that, but I have read a couple of articles that talked about it's, in an economic downturn. People don't go away as much. They don't go to spend money on movies as much. They don't, there's things that cost money in the past. So they will stay home and play games with their friends and their family. So I have read, but it's just anecdotal, I have read that games are sort of making a resurgence.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Nothing wrong with being on the computer, but too many people, I think, are on it too much. So it's good to get away from it and play a game elsewhere.
Exactly. And in everything, it's an issue of what you pick. There are computer games that are great for you and great for kids, and and do help you sort of learn. And then there are games that don't help so much, and you need to be selective.
Well, the name of the book is 399 Games, Puzzles, and Trivia Challenges, specifically designed to keep your brain young. And Nancy, you have I know the website for nevertooldforgames.com, but you have another one for the book, or?
Well, there's a face page for the book, which is Facebook page, I should say, www.facebook.com/399games. And then our publisher, of course, has a page on the book, and that's Workman, WORKMAN.com. You just search for 399 games. Sure. And also, I think the online booksellers do a great job of showing sample pages and describing what the book is like. And so, it's worth taking a look there.
It's one of those kind of books that you pick it up for 10, 15 minutes, play a game or two, and put it down and do it over and over. It's not so it's that type of book. It'll be around for a while.
In
your house for a while.
We hope. Yep.
Nancy, Linde, appreciate you taking a few minutes. Keep up the good work. I know with the online service for the senior citizen, that's a great service you provide. So keep that going too.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
Great. Good to talk to you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Doug.